Hello, welcome to another Java tutorial, and for this video we are going to be looking at inheritance. So I have my something class right over here, and it's really similar to what we covered in the class video. And so first I will make my something object. So something parent equals new something and 5. Alright, so again, just to show you guys, system dot out dot print line get number. So we're just gonna get the number. So parent dot get number. Okay, so we're just getting a number from the parent. We're just calling the get number method. And now we're going to make a subclass of it. So we're just going to go to new class, and we're just going to call it thing. Okay, so how we create a subclass is we have to use the extends keyword. Extends something. So thing will extend something right over here. And what we're going to have to do is create a new constructor. So public thing int I I forgot an H there. Alright. And then we have to call the a super method. So we're just gonna have I. So this will basically, so when you call when you create a subclass of something and you create that subclass object, it will also create the something object. So it's gonna create this basically as well. So it calls the constructor here, and it also calls the constructor here. So it calls two constructors, I believe. And yeah, so through this, we're going to be able to essentially use the methods from something within thing, because it's going to inherit this method right here, and you guys will be able to see that when I demonstrate creating the thing object. So thing, let's just call it child, since it is the child of something. Or we could just call it subclass, child, parent, subclass. It's kind of like the same thing. Not really, but they're kind of similar in this context. So let's just do 5. Oops, I was not supposed to put something. And let's just make it 10, just to kind of make it a little bit different. I'm just going to copy and paste this line and go down here and replace parent with child. Okay, so we create our thing child, and we use 10, and then we're going to call the get number from the parent class to print out what our number is. So as you can see, thing also inherits the private number as well, and we're basically going to be able to use that to call the get number, and you guys will see that. So this first one is from our parent get number, and then the second one is from the child get number. So we're able to use the get number and this variable at the same time from thing, because thing extends something. But another thing to note is that a child will know its parent, but the parent will not know its child. And what I mean by that is that, let's just have public, let's just make another function, and it's going to be void. We're just going to be printing console. So this is going to be like a standard print function. So hello from thing. And I'm just going to do system.out.print. Will that be print line? Hello from thing. Yeah, it's very similar. And I'm just going to create another one here. and something, and this will be hello from something. So right now I'm in the something class. So public void hello from something. Oh, let me just copy and paste this just for speed. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm gonna show you that kind of relationship, how the child will know its parent, but the parent does not know its child. So I'm just gonna comment this out really fast. These little print numbers, the print get numbers, and now I'll show you kind of how the child will inherit its parent's functions, but the parent will not necessarily inherit the child functions. So let's do parent dot hello from something. So from the something object, the parent object, from the drop down, we can only really use the hello from something. And if you were to run that hello from something, which is pretty self-explanatory because the parent is from the something object, but we can also do child dot hello from something. Okay, so we both have the parent and the child calling the same function, which is right here, and the child, which is a thing object, is able to inherit this method right here, hello from something, even though it doesn't necessarily have it in the class itself, but it's kind of implied and inherited by using the extends keyword. Another thing we'll notice is that when you do child dot hello from thing, the child is a thing object, so it's able to use its own method hello from thing. However, if we were to use this, if we were to do that with parent dot hello, not get hello from thing, it just simply does not exist. And if we just run that, it just wouldn't work because we just get an error. So yeah. Also, another thing to note is these access modifiers. So we have public, private, and protected. So public means that you can essentially call it basically wherever. Kind of like how we have child dot from thing. If I were to switch this this method right here, and if I change it to private, and then I were to go back to main, notice how I'm getting kind of like the red lines and the errors. It's because this is kind of like we're not supposed to be able to call this because it's private. We can really only use this method within this class itself. Although thing can kind of still inherit it, we just can't really call it directly. And then protected is kind of like this gray area and middle ground. It's kind of like between like public and private. All right. Let me just change this back to public. So that's basically how it works. So we have our parent, which is something, and we're able to call this function, this hello from something, which is within the something class. And then we create a child class that inherits something's variables, the class something's variables and methods right here. And we're also able to add, we're also able to give thing an additional method right here. And as you can see, the thing object is able to use methods from its parent class something, and it's also able to use its own methods that we have defined within that class. However, the parent, its parent something cannot use the thing class's methods because it doesn't necessarily inherit it per se. And that'll be all. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if it's a bit confusing. It honestly will all make sense if you just kind of type along and kind of just play with it yourself. Maybe you can like comment lines, change things from public to private, that sort of thing. Honestly, it's just really a thing with just getting the feel of it, but it's a bit abstract. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.